Yo, what's going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're talking about some pretty crazy news coming out of the world of League of Legends esports. It's going to tie into some of the recent LCS news and stories, but also just talk about some of the bigger things at hand. And also talk about salary caps a little bit too, because I know that's been a big discussion that a lot of people have been having recently, especially if we've been talking about money so much with like the LCS players walking out and teams unprofitable and Thorin's video and all these different things. So a couple days ago, Alejandro Gomis, he tweeted out this. He said, sources, Faker had offers from LNG, Weibo, T1, TL, and FlyQuest this last offseason. Fly's offer of between 3 and 5 million was outbid by Team Liquid and T1. Faker was really close to joining TL. T1 Scout could become a reality. Now, there's a lot to unpack there, a lot of craziness going on. One of the biggest things to take away is just how much money Faker is reportedly or allegedly making. Again, he was offered between 3 and 5 million by FlyQuest, which is crazy. He was outbid by TL and T1. Obviously, he is still on T1, meaning we got to assume he accepted an offer greater than 3 to 5 million by T1. And then also the fact that he was really close to joining TL, which is also funny because we know last year, at the end of the season, TL, they had this crazy lineup with Bjergsen and Bwipo and all these different guys, and they spent all this money and it didn't work out. They didn't make it to Worlds. And then Steve puts out this video and TL puts out this video about how they're going to be switching things up, how they're going to be more about, they're going to try to be more economical. They're going to try and develop more. The plans they've been working over the past couple of years have not worked out. Things have not been great. And it seemed like they were turning a new leaf. It seems like paid by Steve was dead. It seems like they were going to go into this new era of, trying to be maybe a responsible business or get things under control because they had to, because VC money and investors probably weren't very happy with the results and returns and everything they had. And that's what he's saying in videos and everything. But behind the scenes, he's offering more than $3 to $5 million per year to Faker, or 3 to 5 million total. I guess I don't really know. That's crazy. That doesn't make sense. So it's just another kind of instance of teams and orgs and people in the scene just kind of saying one thing and doing another and not being totally truthful, or things just changing so fast. People clearly not having great sound strategies or plans in place, or plans that are so fluid and so changing that you really can't take anything that anyone says at face value, because like I said, either it's changing super fast, they never really meant it anyway, or they had such little faith and belief in their plan that it could so easily change like the next day or week or whatever, just because somebody like Faker became available. Now, this is obviously not the first time Faker has been rumored to North America or to be leaving T1 or whatever. It seems like this actually happens every single offseason. So for Alejandro to say, oh, he was really close to joining TL, I know a lot of people are going to be like, okay, yeah, whatever. You've said that probably 10 different times in 10 different articles. Who knows? Maybe this time he actually really was close to joining. Maybe he has been really close to joining many times in the past, but it just never came true. Maybe he just uses them to milk more and more money out of T1. I don't really know. But I actually have the article pulled up here. I accidentally just exited out of it. But here in the article, they talk a little bit about it. We're talking about the world's best-known esports player, the most wanted, the Demon King. His 2023 season began after one of the toughest defeats of his career in a thrilling best-of-5. Played to the full 5 maps. He lost the world final with T1. Despite the fact that the LEC offseason was practically over, with the majority of teams reaching verbal agreements with players already, Faker decided to start listening to offers all over the world. He talks about the offers you got here. He got 2 offers from North America, obviously being TL and FlyQuest. Multiple sources confirmed the offer Team Liquid made was higher than FlyQuest. Figures previously mentioned. In addition, sources close to the environment claim that Faker was seriously considering playing for Team Liquid, whose roster ambitions included considering multiple Korean-speaking and multiple world-class players for roles, just in case Faker took the offer and decided to play in NA. So maybe TL would have had an entirely different roster if Faker did come, and maybe he was willing to come because they were going to have a lot of Korean, players and staff and everything, and he was going to be able to make a shit ton of money. And I'm sure part of him is curious, what life after T1 is going to be like. Obviously people love to be loyal and stay in one organization, especially if they're happy and everything like that. But I also think it's normal for humans to be curious and wonder what it would be like playing in a different team or a different org or a different region or whatever. Especially when you're rich and, famous and are able to travel the world and all this stuff. Like maybe you want to check out some other places or some other teams or some other orgs. Some time ago, rumors surfaced that Faker received offers that reached $20 million annually. Blix cannot confirm this, but they were aware of a proposed offer from China prior to the implementation of the salary cap that exceeded $10 million. So that's pretty crazy. In addition to the offers above, T1 was interested in renewing Faker. However, he decided to explore all his options. With Faker scouting the market, T1 wasn't going to sit by. So, of course, they were scouting potential players to replace Faker. The name that was tossed around the most was Scout, the current mid laner for LNG. Scout's promising record included winning Worlds in 2021. There's a high probability Scout would have been T1's mid laner for this season if Faker had accepted TL's offer. The club even had direct negotiations with the player. However, Faker finally decided to renew with T1 for 3 more years, which was the org's preferential outcome. As such, there was no possibility for them to continue negotiating with Scout. So a lot of crazy stuff there in this article. In reply to this, Joe Marsh, the CEO of T1, he says, people almost caught a whale for the 400th time while fishing 6 months ago. What's that old saying about horseshoes and hand grenades? Better use of the space would have been to write about how the whole LOL ecosystem needs to be reimagined so we all have sustainability. And this just reads like a really cringe and salty post by Joe. I'm not really sure why he said this. So many of these, I don't know, people that are big in the esports scene just are super salty motherfuckers and just say weird shit all the time. He's saying that Alejandro shouldn't have wrote this, too far after the fact, whatever. I think Alejandro's been on like a break or whatever. Who cares? Better late than ever. If there's news and stories that people are going to care about, I think it should be put out in the world. Also, he's saying, oh, this space would have better been used to write something else. Like, bro, he can write another article. He can write more articles. Like, articles written are not a finite, thing that like, oh, he gets to write 1 article a month and he wasted on this. Like, no, bro, he can literally write this article and then write another article. The actual writing of these articles, especially a lot of the times, they're not even that well written. They're pretty short, is really, really easy. And of course, when you look at like, okay, Alejandro did end up writing something about, salary caps and sustainability and all this stuff. You'll see this Faker tweet got 1.7 million views. It got 9,000 likes. And then you go to this next tweet about salary cap stuff. It gets 700,000 views and it gets 2,000 likes. And I know that a lot of these esports owners and CEOs and stuff, they don't understand a lot about running a profitable business or trying to make money or, having to do things to actually generate revenue. But obviously Alejandro would like to make some money and probably pay the bills and stuff as well. And still a very, very good article with a ton of information about the Faker stuff that also popped off. It's what the people want to hear. It's what the people want to see. And it's the entertainment value. So I don't really know why Joe Marsh is being a weirdo. Obviously, he's probably a little bit upset that people are kind of bidding up Faker on him and then he has to keep paying out the ass and keep overpaying for him. But again, that's a decision he's making. He doesn't have to, if people are driving assets outside of what their actual value is, you don't have to keep paying those prices, again, unless you are just okay with running a suboptimal business. Alejandro did go on, to finally write the article about the future salary caps and LOL, saying that the LCK is likely to implement a salary cap in 2024. He is talking about a possible exodus in Korea, meaning people leaving Korea maybe to do with this salary cap if their salaries, are going to be capped or going down or whatever. Could mean Teddy leaving, could mean Ghost leaving, and then a study of the maximal operational cost in ERL orgs, possible aid for the major leagues. He does have some info and stuff in here. Economic situation in the West. Despite this interest, the economic situation in the West is not as its best. Cases like the current situation in the LCS highlight this. Major leagues like the LEC are receiving some assistance through league cosmetics, but apart from that, different ways to support these teams is being explored. Currently, the most significant case in which it's happening is the ERLs, although nothing has been decided yet. Discussions are ongoing to explore the possibility of implementing a rule to set a maximum operational cost for esports orgs in some ERLs. This option is being considered in various leagues, such as the LVP and the LFL, due to the shared concern about the current state of esports. In addition to imposing a maximum operational cost per club, various options, which I think would be very hard to actually enforce and keep in place, like that just sounds almost impossible. In addition to imposing a maximum operational cost per club, various options are being studied to hopefully improve the economic situation, including format changes in the ERL. So who knows? A lot of crazy stuff going on. Faker with a massive offseason once again, but also could be leading to future salary caps and stuff in the LCK. I know that's been talked about in the LCS before, but I think there's California laws and regulations and all this stuff holding it back. Maybe one day it'll still happen. Obviously, it's possible to happen. You see it in like the NFL and the NBA and all these other things, but who knows? But yeah, another day, another crazy story going on. Obviously, we don't even know when the LCS is going to be back, if ever, if at all. Who knows? But yeah, TL almost dropped, more than 3 to 5 million on Faker, and FlyQuest was apparently down for that as well. So another crazy day in esports. Even though things seem to be going down, teams still have that kind of money to throw around on one player. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully, catch you the next one. Until then, peace.